ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते राधानाथ स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमो ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादि पश्चात्य देशतारिणे। ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितमेन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देगं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पदे गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसूते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सच्चिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंदा सर्व कारण कारणम। हरे कृष्ण। By Lord Sri Krishna's causeless mercy, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita. So we are in the 11th chapter, Universal Form, Viswarupa. We have finished 8 slokas in the 11th chapter. So Arjuna asked Krishna to show his universal form, and Krishna told Arjuna that he is going to show his universal form. And Krishna gave special eyes to Arjuna to see, so that Arjuna can see his universal form, Viswarupa. So we need this Bhagavad Gita knowledge to understand everything about Krishna and also everything about ourselves. Because with Bhagavad Gita, we will understand very clearly, without any doubt, that we are not related to this material world at all. There is no job for us to do in this material world. There is no point in living in this material world, because we are not a part of this material world. Because we are Atma, we are soul. So, but unfortunately, due to our ahankara, due to our false prestige, false ego, we have decided to suffer in this material world. We have decided to struggle and suffer in this material world. That is purely because of our ignorance and ahankara. So once we get this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, then our ignorance is completely destroyed. The darkness of ignorance is destroyed completely. So then we can understand, we can realize that there is nothing we have to do in this material world at all. There is no point in keep coming back to this material world again and again. We need to have that knowledge actually. We need to plan. We need to plan our life after death. Without the Bhagavad Gita knowledge, we can only plan in this life what we can do. We can make plans, we can make schedules, all such things we can do there. And we can mark our everything in the calendar, everything we can do there. Only in this life. And with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we can plan our next life. That is the real knowledge. So with Bhagavad Gita knowledge, when we understand that this material world is full of miseries, and when we realize that being inside this material body, that is our real problem. So then we can aim, we can plan to get out of this bondage in this material world. Because we are bonded to this material world. All because of our attachment, nothing else, only because of our attachment. Our attachment to this material body, our attachment to the sense object, material sense objects, our attachment to everything which is made up of matter. Because we are not made up of matter, because we are the soul, and Krishna is the super soul, he is the supreme personality of God. So the soul, which is not made up of matter, should be attracted and attached only to the super soul, not to these material sense objects. So that is the real attachment. That is the real love. That knowledge we get it very clearly from this Bhagavad Gita. Because Krishna is teaching us very clearly that we need to realize that we are not this body. That is the main thing. So once we get attached ourselves to Krishna, then we can plan accordingly. Because those who have material attachments, so they are planning differently. They want to achieve their material goals. So that way, they will do things which helps them to get this material goals. But Krishna is saying that this kind of material attachments, they will come to an end. And only a person who has no intelligence will go after material sense objects. Antavatu palam tesham tadbhavati alpametasam. Antavatu palam tesam. So whatever results we get, palam, whatever fruits, whatever results we get in this material world with our activities, they will all come to an end. Anta. Anta means it will come to an end. So only alpameda. Alpameda means those who have no intelligence. Only though they will go after these material sense objects. Whereas an intelligent person, natesu ramate budaka. An intelligent person will not go after this material sense enjoyment. Because he knows that it will come to an end. And he knows that it is temporary. And he knows that it is the source of miseries. Yegi samsparsaja bhoga dukkayonaya yevate adyanthavantaha kaunteya nateshu ramate buddha. So this samsparsaja bhoga, the enjoyment what we get from material sense objects, they are the source of our miseries. The reason we are suffering, we are struggling in this material world, the reason we are bound to this material world, because we are trying to enjoy material sense objects, and those enjoyment, those so-called enjoyment is actually the source of our distress. So then how it can be enjoyment? Krishna is saying that Yegi samsparsaja bhoga dukkha yonaya yevati. Dukkha yonaya. Yonaya means the birth, source of birth. Dukkha is the distress. So it is the source of distress. So dukkha yonaya. What is the source of distress? Our material sense enjoyment. When we try to enjoy material sense objects, so that means it is the source of our distress. Dukkayone evate. We think that we are enjoying. We think that we are enjoying and we are happy, but we are not. We are suffering. We are struggling. We are binding ourselves more and more into this material veil, and will keep coming back to this material veil. That's the main thing. Because it has got both beginning and end. Adi Anta. Adi Antavantaga Kaunteya. So it has got both beginning and end. That's why an intelligent person does not participate in this kind of material sense enjoyment. Nateshu Ramate Buddha. So we need to have the intelligence. And we need to use our intelligence. And this is an opportunity for us. This material body, right now, this human body, it's a great opportunity for us to get out of this material world, so that we don't have to keep coming back to this world and suffer and struggle and die again and again. So this is a great opportunity. We need to progress towards Krishna. We need to put efforts. We need to make efforts to go towards Krishna. Realize ourselves. That is possible only in this human body. With this human body only we can do that. And the first and foremost important effort is studying Bhagavad Gita, understanding Bhagavad Gita. That is the very important step here. The very first step and very important step is getting the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Once we get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then it is guaranteed that we will be liberated from this material world. What does that mean? We are getting the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. We are studying Bhagavad Gita. We are studying Bhagavad Gita regularly, daily. We are studying. We are making a lot of progress. We are making tremendous progress. There is no doubt about it. So that means we are all going to get liberated from this material bondage. There is no doubt about it. So this is the first step and very important step, is getting the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Once we get the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then for sure we will be able to free ourselves from this material bondage, material world. So Krishna has given us this knowledge, and Krishna is repeatedly saying in Bhagavad Gita, you just get this knowledge, you will come to. Just take shelter unto this knowledge. So that's what we are getting. And once we start enjoying this Bhagavad Gita, this is a real enjoyment. So then we will not give up, because we are finding so much of happiness. We are finding so much of happiness and enjoyment, and we will not give up. So by Krishna's mercy, we will continue to study Bhagavad Gita. We will enjoy this Bhagavad Gita. There is no doubt about it. So we will make continuous progress, and Bhagavad Gita is susukam kartum. Susukam kartum means it's very, very happily we can perform. Very, very happily. Susukam kartum, avyayam. So in that Bhagavad Gita, in this 18th chapter, 700 slokas, we understand everything what we need for ourselves to live, ourselves liberated from this material world. We are getting everything what we need. The complete knowledge. Yajnatva neka bhuyo anyade jnatavyam avasisyati. After knowing this knowledge, there is nothing else is there for us to do. So we need to get rid of ahankara, the false ego, and the only way we can get rid of ahankara, the false ego, by surrendering unto Krishna. There is simply no other way. There is no other way we can free ourselves from ahankara. Only by surrendering unto Krishna only. So there Krishna is saying very, very clearly. So, and we can surrender unto Krishna only when we have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. That's why when we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, for sure we are going to progress and we are going to go to Krishna as well. There is no doubt about it. When we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, there is no doubt that we are going to go to Krishna as well. We are going to get liberated from this material bondage because we are going to surrender unto Krishna. When we get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and when we surrender unto Krishna, we are going to be freed from the modes of nature, the three modes of material nature. So that will be the result of having the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So, because as Krishna says, Jnanam labdva param santim. And also, Krishna says that Sraddhavan labate jnanam tatparaga samyatendriya. So, with the knowledge, we will be able to control our senses, we will be able to control our mind, and we will be able to achieve the peace of mind, param santim, the supreme peace of mind, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Without the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, nothing is possible. So we are going to fall in love with Krishna. We are already in love with Krishna. We already love Krishna so much because that's why we are studying Bhagavad Gita. We believe in Krishna. We have so much faith on Krishna. And we know for sure that by Krishna's mercy, we will be freed from this material bondage. And Krishna is going to pour us with so much of opportunities to please Him, to serve Him. There is no doubt. They will all come on our way. We don't have to worry. We just have to believe in Krishna and study Bhagavad Gita. That's it. If we just get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita fully, then Krishna will make use of us. There is no worry, no concern at all. No need to worry about anything actually. Because everything in this world is temporary. Everything is matter of time. Everything will be finished. Just a matter of time. That's it. This body is just like it's a machine, it's a matter, that's it. It can be destroyed at any point of time, by any means. So it can happen. No one can guarantee anything. But Krishna is guaranteeing in Bhagavad Gita that you just take shelter into this knowledge, you just spread this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, then you will come to me. I guarantee you, there is no doubt about it. You love me, you think about me, you focus your mind upon me, fix your intelligence upon me. I will come and save you actually from this material version. That's what Krishna is saying. I will come and liberate you actually. Krishna is saying that. Yetu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparaga ananyenaiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate tesam aham samuddarta mrityu samsara sagarat bhavami nachirat partha mayavesita chetasam. Tesam aham samuddarta mrityu samsara sagarat. So I shall deliver you. I will come and I will deliver you from this ocean of material miseries. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So that we need to know exactly what slokas, what answers Krishna is giving, what questions are asked by Arjuna. All those things we need to understand very clearly. We need to repeatedly study. That's the main thing. We need to keep studying this Bhagavad Gita. Because whenever we study these slokas, they are always going to bring us so much happiness. You will never ever feel boring actually. The study of Bhagavad Gita, always, any other stories or anything, you cannot keep repeatedly, you cannot go and study again and again and again. These material stories or anything like novels or stories or even watching movies and all those things, you cannot keep on doing that again and again. But this Bhagavad Gita, you can do that again and again. Every sloka, you can repeatedly keep on studying and you can chant, you can recite this Bhagavad Gita, you can memorize these slokas, you can tell others, and you will never feel that it is tiring or boring. Because Bhagavad Gita is the knowledge coming from Krishna. So it is directly given to us by Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we are getting this knowledge. And that way, when we get this knowledge fully, completely, then Krishna will actually plan to give even more opportunities, more service to us so that we can serve Him better, we can please Him more, while satisfying all our material needs completely. So that's a very important thing. Because everything is coming from Krishna only. Everything, whatever we want, whatever we need, everything is coming from Krishna only. So when we want only Krishna, we don't care about anything else. So we don't have to really think or worry about our future. For a devotee, the future is bright. For a devotee of Krishna, the future is very bright. Whereas for one who has no Krishna consciousness, who has no knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita, future is very, very dark, very dull. So The real future, our future actually depends on how much knowledge we are getting on this Bhagavad Gita, how much we study Bhagavad Gita, and how much we remember Krishna, and how much service we are doing to Krishna. That's it. So that's where our future actually lies. Just by getting this knowledge, fully understanding it, we are going to go to Krishna as well. There is no doubt about it. That way, we are very fortunate, and we finished 8 slokas in the 11th chapter already in the universal form. So Arjuna asked Krishna to show his universal form. Manyase yadi tachakyam maya drashtum iti prabhu yogeswara tato me tvam darsayatmanam avya. Prabhu, if you think I can see your universal form, you please show me your universal form. That's what Arjuna told Krishna. And Krishna told, okay, Arjuna, I'm going to show you my universal form. You see, Pasyame Partharupani Satosta Sagasra Saga Nana Vidani Divyani Nana Varna Krutini. So, with many, many varieties of forms, wonderful forms, divine forms, Nana Vidani Divyani Nana Varna Krutini. Many, many wonderful colors. So, with hundreds of thousands of various forms, I'm going to show it to you. You see, I'm going to show it to you. There you can see everything. Whatever you have not seen before, everything you can see. And whatever you want to see, everything you can see. So Adrishta Purve. Adrishta Purve means whatever you didn't see. Drishta means see. Adrishta means you have not seen. So that's what Adrishta Purve. So Adrishta, sometimes we just get what we didn't expect, something great. We say that Adrishta. So Adrishta means we didn't see that before, and it has just come on our way. So that's what Adrishta Purve. And also Yachanyade Drashtum Ichasi. So whatever you want to see, you can see that in my universal form. So, but you cannot see with your current eyes. So, Natumam Sakyase Drashtum Anenaiva Swachakshusa. Swachakshusa. With your current eyes, you cannot see my universal form. Therefore, Dadami Divyam Chakshu. Divyam Dadami Te Chakshu. So, I will give you the divine eyes. Divyam Chakshu. Divine eyes. Divyam Dadami Te Chakshu. Pasyame Yogam Aiswaram. You can see my universal form. So, next sloka, now Sanjay is talking. So, first 4 slokas in the 11th chapter, Arjuna spoke. And the next 4 slokas from the 5th to 8th sloka, Krishna spoke. Now Sanjay is saying that, Sanjaya Uvacha Yeva Muktva Tato Rajan Mahayogeswaro Harihi Darsayamasa Partaya Paramam Rupamaiswaram. Eva Muktva Tato Rajan. So here he says that Raja. Rajan means O Raja, O King. So Sanjay is addressing Dhritarashtra because he is explaining, he is narrating what's happening in the battlefield to Dhritarashtra. So that's why, O Raja, Eva Muktva. Eva Muktva means having said like this. Having said who? Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. So Eva Muktva Tato Rajan Maha Yogeswaro Hari. So he is the Mahayogeswaro Hari. He is the Yogeshwara. Yogam Yogeswarat Krishna. That's what Sanjay says at the end. Yogam Yogeswarat Krishnat Sakshat Kadayataka Swayam. Vyasa Prasada Shutavan Yetat Guhyam Mahamparam Yogam Yogeswarat Krishnat Sakshat Kadayataga Swayam. So Yogam Yogeswarat. So that's what Mahayogeswaro Hari. So Hari, that is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, who is the Mahayogeswara. So the master of all mystics. So that's what Mahayogeswara means, the most powerful mystic. Yogam Yogeswara means the master of all mystics. So Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. So wherever there is Krishna, the Yogeswara, the master of all mystics. Yatra Partho Dhanuddhara. So like that here, Sanjay is saying that Mahayogeswaro Harihi Darsayamasa Parthayam. He showed to Partha. to Partha, the son of Pritha. So there is Arjuna. So what? Paramam Rupam Aiswaram, the supreme universal form. Paramam Rupam Aiswaram. Aiswaram, Rupam Aiswaram means the universal form. Paramam, the supreme. So the supreme, the divine universal form, Krishna showed to Arjuna. We are so fortunate that we are going to understand actually how Krishna's universal form is going to look like. We cannot get this knowledge anywhere else, only in Bhagavad Gita. We are very, very fortunate. Krishna's mercy, we are getting this knowledge. So that's why now in the 11th chapter, 9th slokam, so we understand that Krishna gave, like in the 8th sloka, Krishna gave divine eyes to Arjuna, and now he is showing his universal form to Arjuna. So now Sanjay is going to talk few more slokas. Then afterwards, Arjuna is going to narrate what he sees in universal form. So through Arjuna's words, we are going to understand Krishna's universal form completely. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished the sloka number 9 in the 11th chapter, universal form. Hare Krishna. I will stop now and we will discuss if any questions are there. Hare Krishna.